You may have heard about Apple's newest iOS 16 update, but the validity of what you heard is the real concern here. Which can you believe, and which one is false? Well, you are at just the right place for sifting and delving into all the rumors about the iOS 16. Timelines. Apple presented the iOS 16 update at WWDC 2022 on June 6, 2022. However, this does not imply that the operating system will be available anytime soon. A beta version of the upgrade is presently available for developers, and a beta version will be accessible to the general public in July. The final version of iOS 16 will most probably be released in the fall season, most likely coinciding with the launch of the iPhone 14 in September 2022, as has been the case with virtually every significant iOS release in recent memory. The most current version of iOS, version 15, was released on Monday, September 20, 2021. Therefore, it is a plausible assumption that the release of the iOS 16 update will occur on Monday, September 19, 2022, or at some other time during that week. The worst side? Not everyone will get to enjoy the new release. As we go along, we will reveal which iPhone users will be left behind this year. The most significant Apple releases to the general public take place in the fall, typically in September, to coincide with introduction of a new iPhone model. Apple may distribute additional point releases, iOS 16.1, iOS 16.2, and so on, with bug fixes and other features in the weeks and months that follow the first release. Between June 6 and September, multiple beta versions will be made available, and there are high hopes for them. This is still speculation that is in consideration of the fact that Apple discharged a total of 8 iterations of the iOS 15 developer beta in the months leading up to the general public release last year. Price. The latest version of Apple's mobile operating system, iOS 16, will be available as a free update for all supported iPhone models. Much like pouring cold water on a burning finger, that comes as a relief, doesn't it? The chosen few. Although we expected that Apple would discontinue support for the iPhone 6s family with the release of iOS 16, a reasonable decision given that the iPhone 6s was introduced in 2015. The company took things a step further with its official announcement. The iOS 16 updates will discontinue support for a much wider range of devices than just the iPhone 6s. In fact, Apple has stated that it will only be accessible on iPhone 8 models and later. Users on older devices will not experience the full capabilities of the iOS 16 features. And that can be a real bummer in the light of the fact that the new features are really cool, as you will find out in a moment. For instance, the new live captions accessibility function is only available on the iPhone 11 and later models. Moreover, the door detection and people detection features require the LiDAR scanner that is only included on the iPhone 12 Pro and later models. Apple announced at WWDC 2021 that its old iPhone models, such as the iPhone 6s and the first-generation SE, are no longer on the list of iOS 16 supported devices, along with the iPhone 7, which has also been removed. It is highly recommended that you upgrade your iPhone if you currently have an iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 7, iPhone 6s, iPhone 6s Plus, or iPhone SE. This is the channel to subscribe to if getting information on the latest gadgets and trends is what you are after. Hit the subscribe button today to never miss out. Features and updates. If you came to this video from the one we made specifically about the features the iOS 16 is bringing on board, you would discover in detail the most remarkable features the new update is coming with. For those who missed it, some of the incredible features it's coming with include Apple Pay Later, modified lock screen and notification functions, a new focus mode, live text and visual lookup, updated map features, and so on. What's more, prior to the release of the iPhone 13, reports circulated that Apple would finally incorporate an always-on display with time, date, notifications, and other brief data. Clearly, it did not arrive with those phones, but Apple's been positive on the rumors of an always-on display functionality being tested pertain to an iOS 16 feature. There appears to be some evidence that an always-on display may arrive on iPhones in 2022, at least on the new iPhone 14 models. Ross Young, CEO of Display Supply Chain Consultants, tweeted that he couldn't confirm but expected Apple to introduce an LPTO display that reduces the refresh rate to 1 Hz while not in use. The iPhone 13's OLED display reduces to 10 Hz. A reduced refresh rate is essential for conserving battery life, and battery life is undoubtedly the reason Apple has not yet adopted the function. Note that Apple did not address this feature in the WWDC 2022 presentation, but it was never likely to be. Doing so would have meant revealing a crucial feature of the iPhone 14 Pro months before its release. Therefore, we continue to keep our hopes alive for an always-on display later this year. Furthermore, a new iOS 16 feature, called Automatic Verification, could be the end of those pesky CAPTCHAs that appear when you try to log into websites or apps. Fan use of the developer beta uncovered and publicized this feature, which wasn't revealed at WWDC 2022's keynote. According to Apple, the iCloud feature in iOS 16 settings app eliminates the need for CAPTCHA verification on websites by automatically and privately verifying your device and Apple ID in the background. As of the latest iOS 16 beta, the functionality is enabled by default, and we can only hope that it will remain. To find out more interesting and unique facts about this new iOS 16 update release, you should check out this video on iOS 16 updates, what Apple might not be telling you. Until next time, take care.